Happy holidays and welcome to In Wisconsin. I'm Patty Lowe. Each week we bring you stories about the issues and people in our state. This week, all aboard for a train trip through our state, each stop making the holiday season a little brighter for those in need. One of this year's holiday movies is Polar Express. Based on the classic children's book, the film tells of a magical train that takes kids to visit Santa at the North Pole. Adventure and gifts ensue. There's another train that you'll see on the tracks these days. This one makes its way across North America, gathering gifts of a different sort. In Wisconsin, producer Art Hackett was able to ride the rails on that train and has this story.
Imagine yourself at a remote rail crossing. The gate comes down, a 10-car Canadian Pacific train wrapped in lights goes past, then stops. A country and western singer in a white suede coat is singing Silent Night, and you realize you're surrounded by 1,000 or more people standing in the cold rain. You are not dreaming. It really happens every December.
Thank you, guys.
Sometimes, you know, we're just the train that's passing in the night or waking you up with the horn and the whistle. And I think the company was looking for a way to kind of give back to some of the communities that we run through.
All those cars lined up just north of Brookfield, they're bringing food for the local pantry.
Since grain is one of the single biggest commodities that we ship, it seemed really fitting to do something to help food shelves.
I got another box here for the tall can.
This is a check for $1,500 to the St. Vincent de Paul Society's food shelf.
The holiday train has been around for 6 years. There are 2 trains, actually, one crossing Canada from St. Therese, Quebec to Port Moody, British Columbia. The U.S. train goes from Scranton, Pennsylvania to Minot, North Dakota, then north into Saskatchewan. Tonight, it's heading for Watertown.
Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and I'm going home.
It's too bad Boxcar Willie never had a chance to play the stage, since it actually is in a boxcar. Montreal, Quebec native Patricia Conroy, former Canadian Country Music Association Female Vocalist of the Year, is one of this year's entertainers.
It's become, you know, this great mysterious thing that you have to see.
She's living in a vintage private rail coach for the train's 2-week journey.
I'm a road dog. I've been on the road for almost 15 years. For somebody else, this might be rather difficult. You know, 4, 5, 6 shows a day, you know, day after day. But for me, it's exhilarating. I know what to expect. I've done it before. I know when you pull up to the stop, people are waiting and they're awed by the look of the train. They're so glad that you came. So it's no longer about you, it's about them.
Did you sometimes wonder if they're more there to see the train than to see you?
Oh, they're here to see Santa. They don't care about me.
The stop at Portage looks like something out of a movie set. A depot wrapped in white lights and a milepost with wooden arrows pointing in all directions.
Let's see, what's it say? Green Bay is how far? How about the North Pole? How far is that, kids?
Conroy is joined by bluegrass artist and 2-time Grammy nominee John Cowan.
I can see that train a-coming. Watch that big light shine this way. Hear that whistle softly blowing. Lord, it's been an awful...
What is it that's attracting the people?
I think it's the idea of, it's the idea of the train, because if you notice the audiences, it's mostly parents and their kids. So I think the idea of seeing the holiday train and the lights on the train, and it's such a phenomenon itself. The music end of it is just a bit of an added bonus. The only thing that's a little difficult about it is the cold. It is really hard to play music in these temperatures. It's something that no one ever experiences that I know of.
I got a chance to go up with the conductor in the locomotive, and it's a really special place to be because, I mean, you're head on. You see people waiting on the side, both sides, going from town to town, taking pictures. So it's flashes all the time.
It's a real great experience, knowing that we're doing so much for the local communities with the food banks.
This is the Canadian Pacific Railway Holiday Train. In the last few years, we've helped raise more than $1 million and 213 tons of food. Are you going to raise a little more right here tonight in Mauston?
Mauston is the stop that defies reason. It's the last stop of the night. The show doesn't start until after 10 o'clock. Last year, there were near blizzard conditions, but there was still a big crowd. The year before that, Mauston earned the reputation as the town where people really wanted the holiday train to stop.
We had heard that the train was coming through, and we called the Canadian Pacific Railway to see how we could get on the list for the following year. And she said that we could do like an audition, and if we had 50 people by the tracks in a 48-hour notice, they would consider stopping. And we had over 1,000 people that showed up. And Santa got sucked into the crowd, and we delayed the train a half an hour.
Hi, Santa!
This year, there were about 1,500 people waiting.
It's a huge opportunity for the area to raise hunger awareness issues. Canadian Pacific Railway does a great job in bringing that issue to the community in a fun, seasonal way, but still bringing home the fact that there are hungry that need to be taken care of.
5 hours have passed by. The train has traveled about 130 miles. Conroy, Cowan, and the band have done 4 shows.
It's just the sweetness of the event, really. It's what happens between the audience and the performers in the whole event. It really does. There's something a little bit indescribable, a little bit magical about what happens out there. If you noticed, whenever we sing Silent Night and there's no music and I hear 1,500, 2,000 people singing that song in unison, it's very sweet.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
From all of us to all of you, God bless and happy holidays. Good evening.
The Canadian Pacific Holiday Train made its last stop December 19th in Port Moody, British Columbia. Holiday train organizers estimate that approximately $300,000 and 165 tons of food were brought in for U.S. and Canadian food bank programs. That's triple the amount of food donations collected last year.